It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here
Hump Day!
Hump Day, Wednesday.
Legendary top 5 list. Legendary in honor. Black History Month.
Okay, this is about as good as a show is going to get for Big D Energy, for the network, sports talk as a whole. This is about as good as it's going to get today. We got our guy, Hondo Carpenter, covers the Raiders for Sports Illustrated. He's down at the Combine in Indianapolis. There's Max Crosby news that I think really went under the radar here in Detroit. We're going to have him at 11:14. It's a Top 5 Wednesday. KG, Top 5 Black Guys.
You goddamn right.
In honor of Black History Month as it comes to a close. Of course, it's the shortest month.
Yeah, and we're going to do this the right way, people. We're going to do this the right way.
Number 1.
Respectful.
Okay?
Yeah.
We can do it. I know we can do it. Jump
Not
into the
racist.
Woodward Sports. Jump into that Woodward Sports
Why is
chat
it so
thread.
hard to not be racist? White people can't help themselves.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the chat here in about 5 seconds. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump into the chat. Get your thoughts out there respectfully. D-Mac has on.
New sweater. Who this?
Yep.
New
there it
sweater.
is.
These are the ones that they're debuting. Shout out to Fanatics for sending me one of these. This is the only time that yes, it's white for now. But yeah, I like the way the jerseys turned out. The helmets look freaky too because
The gloves are sweet. Have you seen the gloves? They're like red with white fingertips.
Oh.
They're pretty cool.
With the wings on the helmet.
You know,
Yeah, that
something
shit is
different.
fire.
Yeah.
Something different. I like it. Chase, you're gonna be down there. I'm gonna be down there in Columbus on Saturday. Obviously, the Wings got Columbus here Thursday night, but a lot of action in the city. But I think a lot of people. There's a buzz the way this Red Wing hockey team's playing, but the fact that you get to play the outdoor, anytime you get to play outdoor in a historic game in front of how many people are supposed to be there? Do you know, Chase?
I'll try to look it up for us.
Like I want to, they're gonna pack them in. So
No
hopefully
doubt.
it's a nice day. Hopefully it's not too cold.
No doubt. Woodward Sports chat thread right away.
Oh, of course.
Phil, is there a White History Month? That's the other 11 months.
That's
Phil.
it. The rest of the year.
Phil, we not putting up with your shit today,
No.
bro. Phil, you Spinny, be on guard.
I got you.
Put Phil in
I
timeout.
got you. I'll have the quick timeout ready.
The
to go.
hammer. The hammer's at the ready.
I'm not playing it, Phil. I'm not.
But yeah, so we are definitely going to get into that. Brad Holmes talked to the media at the Combine as well. A lot of newsworthy stuff. Ben Johnson had some things to say. A lot of newsworthy stuff. It's going to be tough to keep up today. And Spenny, I feel I'll apologize in advance. You do the work. You lay out the roadmap every single day. We can blow that thing up with a missile.
Yeah, it's
All right. All right, so
We got plenty of videos. We got Hondo. We got top 5.
It's gonna be good.
no, it is absolutely going to be good. So again, jump into that chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. We are going to be at it. And the Red Wings, all right? That was a nice win. That was what I like to call a good team win. That was a game where, and look, Cam Talbot's enough. The Red Wings team's enough. It's enough. It's enough to make the playoffs. It's enough to be a threat. The top line is good. And D-Mac, they're down to nothing. What I thought right away, D-Mac, was, okay, hey, man, road game, these happen.
I
And what do they
sent
do?
a group chat right after the first period, right? The most poignant thing, and I was talking about this before. I was sitting around watching the game with a couple guys who know hockey and stuff like this that were down 2-0. They get frustrated. Here we go, and stuff like this. And I'm like, are you watching the game? Because the opportunities we had early, it could have been 2-3.
That was your text.
Right,
yeah.
and my text was, guys, after the first period, 9 shots on goal, 23 shot attempts, right? And when you look back, if you watch the game, you're going, yeah, they got a lot blocked or whatever. My point is, earlier in the year, to get 23 shot attempts, it would have took us 3 games. So you know what? It's just a matter, it's volume and stuff like that and sticking to it. I think that's the only way, like hockey and sports, it's about how do you answer to your own mistakes, and when you've given something up, how do you take it back? So to win that game in regulation, and the frustrating thing is that you've played well for 55 minutes of hockey since you've been back. You just have about 5 or 6 minutes of lulls where the other team has been capitalized on. You brought up a great point. We've said it all along. Goaltending has to stay healthy for any chance of this team moving forward. But the way that these guys are playing, they're hard. Their leaders are leading them. But then, the role players. Spenny, what were you saying about the game-winning goal? That was like goal of the future, Team Sweden, whatever like that, because you had Johansson to Soderblom using the size to Edvinsson, locked and loaded from left field, right? Like ready to go. So these guys are playing hard. The youth are stepping up. Like you mentioned, Neil, they have a very dangerous power play. I think they scored their 50th power play goal this season the other night and stuff like this.
Power play's elite. The power play line's elite.
And it has to be. And what's gotten better is their PK too. The only thing that's suspect is, the end of the game, last minute pulling the goalie. But that I know for a fact, Tom McClellan, and it's great. We got 5 out of 6 points and doing these things well. But guys, we need to tighten this up. This is where we need to tighten up, and we saw it yesterday. So again, you can't take your foot off the gas, nor do you have to. You said, this team is this team, but they have to keep playing this way. They don't have an opportunity for a letdown because it is so tight. So you look at it's almost like you're swimming across the Atlantic Ocean, right? And you just come up for air, and then boom, there's another game. So this will be big because you're starting to build a bit of a rivalry with Columbus because you're on the same trajectory as them, and this makes for great hockey. So they like their game. They like what they're doing. You can tell.
A good friend of mine used to tell me, I like their spot. You like your spot.
Yeah. Do you like their spot?
I like their spot.
I like
now.
their spot.
Elite power play. If you go in the box, they'll make you pay. It flips game. They have a top line that can flip a game. I know that there's questions about center depth and now defense depth with the Cops. I get all that, but I like their spot. As a whole, I like this spot. Woodward Sports Chat, jump into there. If you want, you can jump the line like Randall Smalls
spot you
did.
like the best, though? And I said to Spenny, is because I saw the tweet and I laughed when Anaheim was so upset at the Zegras hit on Rasmussen the other day. They took Philly Husso and all his contract. But
right.
That's the most elite move over the weekend is you got rid of Husso and all the money.
And all the money.
Right? Because now, and as we're talking little intricacies, because we are coming up on the trade deadline. We're coming up where I got to believe that there's got to be conversations or you might be buyers. Conversations where you look at the salary cap for next year. What did you tell me that they were 11th?
Yeah, 11th in the league, like 25-ish million, which that went up now.
Which is good, right? Like this is the spots that you want to be as the salary cap goes up, but that it always keeps you in the conversation for that guy.
Yeah, and you have to remember, too, like you're trading 4 guys. If you want to do the rental play, you can. You're trading 4 guys that are, 66% of the way through the season. So if you extrapolate that, you can take on, I forget what their number is, what they have right now.
A contract of
11 million, 14 million,
average annual value they could take on right now.
Yeah, whatever it is. And I forget the exact number of cap space, whatever it is, though, whatever equates to that. So, yeah, you can take on the equivalent of a $14 million contract. So if a team that's not going anywhere has an expiring and they just want to hey, we'll save $3 million, because that's something, too. And we forget this from time to time. This isn't in your fantasy league. This doesn't equate to your fantasy league, so people don't understand it. Sometimes when you're an owner, say you're like a Buffalo and you're not going anywhere, and you're like, man, I can just not pay a dude $3 million. Hell yeah, I'll do that. Get him out of here.
So, Neil, you have your ears to the street and stuff like that, and the only reason that I bring this up, and this is out of pure, fandom, right, without reality, but, they made that big deal for Rantanen, right, in Carolina. Have you heard that they might be moving him at the deadline?
I just what you've seen on Twitter or whatever.
So that's interesting because if you're gonna take a run on a rental where it's like that to spend $3 million to that guy at the date to see if it works out, That's almost like you got rid of Huso, so you can almost, there's some money there. It might be
$5.3 million they have right now, which is sixth most in the league for this season.
I mean, it doesn't. I guess my point is, it doesn't put you out of having that conversation
No.
if you wanted it to have.
No, the Red Wings are in any rental
we weren't even in
situation.
that conversation.
Any rental situation that the Red Wings are involved right now. They are involved just because, again, you go to it, and this is the little things, right? You put yourself in a spot where you can be in those discussions. You don't have to do it, but you can.
No, so can we just let's have 30 seconds of just. Spenny, could you imagine, even just for a rental, adding Mikko Rantanen?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, by the way, that's a 1C.
yeah.
Woodward.
I just want it, just please.
Guy's been over 30
Hold on.
goals 3 times in his career.
Big
Yeah.
D energy. All right, I'm better.
Okay,
There we
super
go.
chat, by the way. If you want to jump the line, you can do like Rando Smalls.
Imagine that, Chase.
I went to my first
You're
Wings
crazy.
game. Second game of a home-and-home against Chicago. Friday night standing room only seats. My buddy said probably the closest it's been to a playoff game. I've been hooked ever since. So, yeah, people are making their way. We're getting more and more of these stories, by the way. People slowly making their way back. It's been a little more Red Wings as of late, but people starting to make their way back to LCA for the Pistons now. We're seeing it, and I'm here for it, man. I like it. Question for you, KG, and you're going to be the mayor of this.
Okay.
You are.
Got you.
Top 5 black guys today on Wednesday for the top 5 list. Mike O. I look all white, but my dad was black. Do I get partial credit? Mike O. It's up
banger.
to you.
Yeah.
It's your top 5
It's
black
subjective.
guys. You said light skin approved.
Yeah, but they can't be light skin as in mixed with white. You just got to be purebred light skin. I know the differences is kind of
That's,
mess you up. There are very light black people in the world.
And that was a lyric drop from a Who song. I'm a substitute for another guy. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Alec G. Stoked, not scared. Nicholas Duncan. The Pistons are straight fire. Grom at 0237. I want to see more car flags. Adam Kerr. Rantanen, Larkin, Raymond. Who says no to that?
I mean, I would say no to that because I'm not changing that first line. But love not saying no to Rantanen on this team. Saying no to, I'm keeping that first line out.
I mean, Neil,
I'm putting Rantanen in between DeBrincat and Kane.
That's
And
that, or
insane.
DeBrincat and Kane, whatever, like that. No, second line. I don't even change the first, but just have a moment just to
And I just want to. Yesterday's
just to
game,
throw him. Hey, Smitty, it don't matter how it goes. Throw him in your top 6.
he's in your top 6 for sure. I just don't want to mess up the chemistry that first line has.
You don't have to. And when a
Yeah.
guy's like that, you're not gonna. You know what I'm saying? It's almost makes it like.
I'm just saying though, like, what's the logic for Carolina to get rid of them? They're in a cut, like they're in the cup.
They don't want to
window.
resign him.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, but take your spin. You
No,
know?
I get it. No, I just it's just because it's
I think
just
Dylan Cousins is still
I
gonna be
agree.
the option.
they may, and that to me, as good as he was, they get a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, to Colorado and stuff. I don't know. I'm just saying that if that is true.
And I just want to say, last night watching that game, I was clamoring for Simon Evanson to get called up from game 1 last year, and it took him too long. But this kid is special, man. He is truly. He's a better offensive defenseman than Mo Seider is. But like this picture right here, this is fucking rock star shit, dude. He's lining up for the clapper while in the neutral zone, and he scored on this, by the way. This was his first goal.
Nice.
That was just an absolute laser. And then the second one, D-Mac mentioned it, how sweet it is. You had Soderblom using his size, his skill, and his skating ability to go coast to coast, draw all the attention of the defense in the offensive zone. He kicked it to Johansson. Johansson finds Evanson on a wide open slot, and he blasts it home. Like, seeing these guys play like that, these Swedes out there getting better and better by the day, it just gives you so much faith into what this team is going to be.
Greg in the chat, KG, says, my best friend is black.
Hey, he can make the list.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
so
up to
do
you. I got a friend on my list.
Hey, shout out.
I
No,
left friends and family off my list.
nobody in the super chat. Neil got absolutely blasted on my route today, and then I remembered I got Big D energy, baby. Go Pistons, F the Bears, FTP. Nobody, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. All right, when we come back, the Electric Factory. Hondo Carpenter.
He's out. He's good to go.
He's good to. Oh man, hurry up then
Ready
through
to
this.
go.
Break.
Yep.
Get out. There's Max Crosby news that was totally missed in this town. Hondo had it. We're going to talk to him about it when we come back. FeldmanAuto.com, the best car dealership group in Detroit. Why? They've been around since 1996. Why? Because all the brands are represented. We know about Feldman Chevrolet and Novi because they're Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. But what if you want a Ford? What if you want a Kia? Whatever kind of car you want. FeldmanAuto.com is the first play. They do great charity work with the Children's Miracle Network Hospital here in Detroit. By the way, they're as Detroit as it gets. Go to FeldmanAuto.com. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Woodward Merch. Get ready for the playoff run, everybody. We are back. We are back and open for business. Red Wings, Pistons, Lions, Tigers. There's a Woodward Sports golf line. It got warm yesterday, everybody. We'll be playing golf someday soon, not today or tomorrow, but you get my drift. Shop.wood. Hey, you want the Myles Garrett thing to happen? It might not, according to what we're going to talk about later. But hey, F them picks. That shirt's out there for you as well. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. And right now, as promised, we are joined by our guy. Covers the Las Vegas Raiders for Sports Illustrated. One of the most electric guys in sports media. He's down at Indy right now for the Combine. You know he's getting the scoops and the stories. Of course, it is Mr. Hondo Carpenter. Hondo, appreciate you, my friend. Good to catch back up with you. And Hondo, I want to start with this, man. This got totally missed, I thought, in the city of Detroit. You had a story. You talked about Max Crosby. And for those that didn't see the real Hondo, you had it, man. It sounds like Max Crosby's kind of leaning towards signing an extension there. You're crushing everybody's dreams, man.
Yeah, it's not leaning. You may remember back when all the rumors were flying last year, and in your city, you were the only one speaking reality, which seems to be the only case when it comes to sports. That's why Woodward is just blowing up. We told you then he wanted to be a Raider. He told me he wanted to be a Raider. I've known him since he was in Michigan. And him and I have a great relationship. And, he wanted to stay there. But as it went on, he wanted them to demonstrate, that they're committed to winning. Max is one of these elite players. He's a unicorn. And he's willing to take less money like Tom Brady did to win. He's got several businesses he owns worth multi-million dollars. So he's not looking for all of it there. He just wants to be in a place to win. And we broke the story that the Raiders, a source inside the Raiders with direct knowledge of the budget, is that the Raiders are budgeting now that they know the salary cap numbers, and he's going to get his deal. So I fully expect him to re-sign a massive deal. And then yesterday, Pete Carroll confirmed our reporting that they want him back, saying we've got to get Max signed. So he's going to be returning to the Raiders.
Hondo, is this the fantasy football effect for all of us where, we hear somebody say, they like Detroit, so we say, okay, let's go trade for him, let's go get him. When in reality, Hondo, and we've talked about this a lot, the Raiders are a professional football team in the National Football League. They are not in the business. If you want to win football games, you're trying to get players like Max Crosby, not get rid of them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say we got a little too excited, didn't we?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would just say there's a segment of people that live in their basement whose girlfriend's last name is .jpeg that have no desire to even live in the world of reality. You can't do anything about those people. But, we know, because I'm a native Michigander, that it used to be Detroit. It's not anymore, thank God. Everyone else is Cleveland. And at the end of the day is that you can't want to be a championship team and let elite players who arguably aren't in their prime or on the edge of their prime go. I mean, can you imagine if they were going to let Amon-Ra go? Of course not. Aiden Hutchinson go? Come on, give me a break. And now you're seeing the Lions back up among the elite in the way they're being run. In fact, if in a minute, I got some great Lions stories for you.
I could ask what you know.
But what's going on is you're seeing that the teams that are serious are out there saying, hey, we're not letting these guys go. And the best players understand I make hundreds of millions more if I win. So, okay, I'm willing to leave a couple $1 million on the table so you can go sign another guy to help me, because in the end, I'm going to get more endorsements. I'm going to be part of more businesses. And they get that. Tom Brady really demonstrated that, part of his education from Michigan, which is hard for me to give credit to because I'm a Spartan, but it's still a great school education-wise. And but you see it, and I think that Max wanted to be there as long as they were committed to winning, and that's why he's there. I can tell you, though, factually, if he ever were to move on from the Raiders, that he would want to be in Detroit. But he loves the Raiders. That is his first choice, and that's where it's going to end up probably happening.
We're joined by Las Vegas beat writer Hondo Carpenter, a good friend of the program. Thanks for joining us, Hondo. Now that we got all that out of the way.
Before you go any farther, it is always an honor to talk to the hockey god. And I love you. I think you are such a great part of Woodward, and I just thoroughly enjoy you. And this is what I love about you. You are able to tell somebody to go to hell and make them look forward to the trip. And you're that way. You've always been that way. I love what you do. You and Neil are such a great combination. And I just got to tell you, you have made so many smiles in my life. It's always an honor to be with you, brother. Of course, Neil, you are one of my dearest friends on planet Earth, and I absolutely love you. But I appreciate both of you guys.
No, D-Mac's the guy, no doubt.
No, I appreciate that, bro. But down to business, right? I'm just wondering, every year, doesn't it follow in the combine? I mean, it's sort of like a lot of the same stuff, but what's the theme? Is there a theme or an undercoat this year? Because every year it seems to be a theme of it. What would you say that this year's theme to you is, Hondo?
There are three, and I appreciate that question. That's another reason I love listening to you, is because you're not just a hockey guy, you're a sports guy. Three things have stood out. Number one, we have seen the devaluation of running backs. That's now changing. That's now beginning to rise. Saquon Barkley has raised the trend there, and I'm talking to a lot of general managers, executives, scouts, telling me there is a re-establishment of the running back position. I can tell you this is an incredibly deep draft. I think 4 running backs are going to go in the first round. I clearly Ashton Genty is a superstar. Now, I want to make this clear, because those guys in the basement whose girlfriend .jpeg is texting him telling her she just needs $200 extra to get her hair done because her kid died. Let me just say this to you. Ashton Genty is not Barry Sanders, but he is one of the rare players where he can do 2 or 3 things that you look at him and you go,
hey,
Barry did that. So I'm not calling him Barry, but he is an elite running back. I think he may be the best since Saquon Barkley. But then you have Omarion Hampton, who is a beast, who's built like a beast. He's phenomenal. Travion Henderson is rising up draft boards. I think he's going to get in the first round. And the young man, I just can't remember his name. Forgive me. I've interviewed so many people, but from Iowa, he's up there going to go in the first round. So I think that's the first one. Number one is you're seeing a reestablishment of the running back position. And this may be one of the deepest running back classes in decades, not years, decades. There's going to be some really great backs picked way down deep in this draft. That's number one. The second thing is the quality of this draft. It is phenomenal at multiple positions. This is going to go really deep. Now, let me tell you why that impacts Detroit so big. Detroit is a good drafting team now. It's not actually, it's a great drafting team. There are always the bozos at the top who are there every year who suck. It's just you wake up, and matter of fact, they just look and they're already eliminated from the playoffs, who are going to pick people in the first round that shouldn't be picked there. And this is such a deep draft. You're going to see first round talent picked in the second round. You're going to see second round talent picked in the third. So if you're sitting there and you are a Lions fan, you are thrilled today because you want all of these bad drafting teams because you draft well, and where you're sitting, you're going to get quality starters, quality players, and this is a humongously deep draft. But here's the third thing. This is one of the poorest draft classes in memory. Cam Ward is by far the best in the class. Reminds a lot of people of C.J. Stroud. But remember, there were question marks even with C.J. And so even though he's a good prospect and worthy of a first-round grade, I've talked to multiple people who've told me they have maybe two guys with a first-round grade, Jackson Dart being the other. But you know, even that, it's a lower first round on Jackson. But there may be as many, I'm not predicting this, but there could be as many as 6 quarterbacks go because there's so many teams that terribly draft. I mean, listen, you may need a quarterback, but so you're going to go pay a guy first round money who's a 5th round developmental guy? Give me a freaking break. And that's where watching the quarterback position this year, and then everybody's talking about next year, could rival the greatest quarterback classes ever. Next year is completely loaded with quarterbacks, talented quarterbacks. I had one person tell me that they potentially thinks as many as 8 quarterbacks could go in the first round next year. That's going to be a huge one. So outside of quarterback, which is the most important position, this may be one of the deepest drafts of all time. But at quarterback, ooh, it's uglier than me in the shower, and it's why I turn the lights off, boys.
Hondo Carpenter, the Pure Electric Factory, Woodward Sports chat thread. Tommy K, Hondo should be on every week at least. This guy's electric. Spenny's Allen Bride. Can we get Hondo on more often? Absolutely, man. Hondo's the man. He covers the Raiders for Sports Illustrated. He's down in Indy right now for the Combine. All right, Hondo, I would want to touch on this too since we have you here. Ben Johnson was kind of in the news yesterday, and Lions fans took his comments of kind of a slight against Jared Goff and things like that. And you know, I had talked to a source, and it became kind of a big deal where I talked to a source and said, hey, you know, there may be more than meets the eye with the Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, you know, triumvirate there. There may be more than meets the eye, and I talked to a source about that. But you know, Hondo, when you look at it, because you're there, you have the stories all the time. Was Ben Johnson on the Raiders' radar as well? Was he a serious candidate for the Raiders' job?
Well, let me just tell you this. Not only was he a serious candidate, when his agent allegedly tried to make fun of it like he wasn't, I heard from multiple NFL people that said to me, he better hope it works out in Chicago, because the way he's burning bridges, nobody else is going to give him a second chance. Wow. And I don't think that this was a good fit for him in Chicago. So let me just say this. I have no axe to grind with Ben. I cover now multiple NFL teams as an NFL writer, and everyone I know that know Ben personally likes him personally. So I have literally no axe to grind here. But I'm going to tell you this. I know for a fact that he had reached out to people and talked about the Las Vegas Raiders job. I knew that the Raiders had not made an offer because they weren't allowed to, but the parameters of an offer had been discussed with agents. And I know for a fact, now this is not opinion, I know for a fact that people were being talked to about going to Vegas and Ben, if Ben potentially went there. He had not committed to go. The Raiders had not committed to hire him, but both parties were absolutely in on it. Both parties were absolutely close. He was the Raiders' original choice. well, that's not true. He was the Raiders' first choice that they decided this is the guy we want. But he was doing a lot of revisionist history, which is fine. He can do whatever he wants. But I think Ben maybe has a little bit of an ego and needs to remember that it's called the NFL, not for long. And you can burn bridges all that you want. But here's the problem. There are very few guys that go someplace and spend the rest of their career. And when you want to get back in and you've burned bridges, it's not wise. And I talked about this, that NFL people were like, Ben just needs to to shut up, be glad that he's in Chicago, but remember, go look at how everyone else does in Chicago. They fired Ditka. It's not like they're not going to fire his ass.
All right.
Well, you're the smartest guy in the room right now by a lot, and I'd be remiss. And this sort of goes out to Spenny, to the fact of you covered the Sparties for a lot of years and stuff like this, and it looks like Tom Izzo's team coming in, but like 30,000 foot view and your perspective of what do the Sparties have a chance in this tournament, or is this team more of the Tom Izzo team going into tournament time? What say you? Because no one's seen more basketball than you over the years.
Well, a couple things I always laugh. My son is 19 years old and a sophomore in college, so his entire life he's known Tom and has watched Michigan State's success. And I always tell them when they get worried, oh, they're not going to make the tournament, they're not going to do anything. Relax. It's Tom Izzo. And you tell them that every year. Here's the thing about Tom Izzo that I love, and I know him personally, as I consider him a great friend. But here's what I love about Tom. He's a winner. And so when people underestimate him, so at the beginning of this year, I predicted them to be in the hunt for the Big Ten title and literally got mocked and laughed at by the young journalists, which is fine. It's why you make what you make and I make what I make, and I have a track record. And, people can tell me, well, you're fat and ugly. Yes, but my wife's hot and I can lose weight. And so what I tell people is, but the issue is that Tom Izzo does a great job of building a team. Darren, I'm going to give you a great compliment. I was told once by one of your teammates that what made you great was that you were a great teammate, and that even guys you didn't like, if somebody screwed with them, you had their back. That if you had an issue with a guy, you did not hold back, but you didn't go put it in the media. You were a team guy. You're an Izzo guy. It's why Detroit loves you. It's why pure hockey fans love you. You're one of those guys. You're the guy. You are hockey. And Tom Izzo is that. He's basketball, and he builds a team around each other, and that's what has put Michigan State where they are. They are dangerous, but like anything, it's all about matchups. I'll tell you a quick story. You may remember when they were predicted by a lot of people to win the NCAA tournament, and they went against Middle Tennessee State and were upset, a massive upset. And I'll never forget this, because that night, Middle Tennessee hit, I don't even remember, but it was close to 80% of their shots. And I went back and watched that film 11 times because as a journalist, I felt like if I'm going to comment on things, I need to be smart. Players don't mind you being critical, they mind you being stupid. And so I watched all the film and I called Izzo. And I went over to his house and I just said to him, I'm not trying to make you feel good. It's not my job. I mean, I'm your friend, but I don't know how you could have played that game any different. Your defense was great, and people are going to look at the 70+ shooting percentage and think it sucked, but they were shooting past NBA 3-point line. That's not on you. It's not on your guys. And it was just their night. And he's like, I can't say that because people are going to think I'm making excuses, but you're right. And you couldn't feel bad about that loss because that team played out of their mind. That's the game of basketball. And I'm going to tell you this, that Tom Izzo is underappreciated today, and he's not going to be fully appreciated till he's gone. He's underpaid, and I can tell you this, he has raised hundreds of millions of dollars for that university. If he simply said, put me on 10% of everything I raise, he would get a massive raise, and that basketball team is fun to watch. It's the sum of their parts. They're kids that love the game. They've built it the right way. And I absolutely, I think they are a dangerous, dangerous team.
All right, Hondo, I know you're down there making moves and breaking stories and stuff like that, so I got two more for you here. Number one.
Great. Take your time. I got to tell you a great Lion story, though, before we go.
And that was going to be number one. Have you heard anything Detroit related? Because I know you still keep your ear to the ground, still have the connections. What do you got for me, Lions related? Any good nuggets?
I got a couple things. First, because as an NFL writer now, I'm keeping my nose to the ground and everything. So first of all, I was texting with a Lion player the other day, whatever day it was, Neil, that you had reached out to me. It was that morning I was texting with a player. And I said to him, what's the biggest difference in being in Detroit? And he said something that I think is phenomenal. He said, this is the first time I have been on a sports team where you feel family. It's always talked about in sports. He goes, but you feel it. And he goes, I never want to play anywhere else. And if you guys knew who he was, that'd be a very big thing. But he goes, I never want to play football anywhere else or for anyone else. And he said, I absolutely love it here. And that's the culture that's been built. That is exactly from Sheila on down what they have built and what they have done. And I think that is a huge story, because here's the funny thing. I know several free agents, and I'm asking, who you hearing from? And they're like, man, I had 5 free agents tell me they've heard from several Detroit players. Dude, you got to come here. Dude, you got to play here. Dude, it's different. And here's the best thing. When's the last time you heard about Detroit players out recruiting free agents? And you're not going to have to overpay. That's a big one. But here's the second Detroit Lions story that you're going to absolutely go freaking nuts for. And the chat better blow up like a bunch of teenage girls who just won Taylor Swift tickets. So I was talking to one of the most respected GMs in the National Football League. And I said, what's your eye on Detroit? What do you think's going on in Detroit? He goes, I'm going to tell you this. All of these, and he used a word I won't use, but it had to deal with a feminine part of the body. He said, all of these blanks, he goes, out here whining because he lost coordinators. He said, the hardest thing is to build the team. He goes, but obviously the man's proven he can pick the right coaches. He goes, I don't care. I tell my coach, I don't care if we lose coordinators, because you built it, build it again. The biggest question is, can you build it? Then when I know you can, he goes, I don't give a crap if we lose coordinators, because I know my guy is going to be able to replace him. He said, all of these blanks, he said, need to grow up. He says, because Dan Campbell ain't letting the Detroit Lions go backwards. And the best ones now want to go coach for him, because they now know, if I want to be a head coach, I'm going to go be with Dan, because Dan can get me there. He goes, the man lost 2 coordinators, but he built a frickin' tree.
Yeah.
Hondo Carpenter, our guest, covers the Raiders for Sports Illustrated. All right, Hondo, last one for you. We had this asked in the chat. People wanted to ask you this as well, and it kind of coincides with what I was going to drive at. Since we have you here and you do cover the Raiders, what are they looking at doing? You said this is the weakest quarterback draft class in a long, long time. They need a quarterback. Would Aaron Rodgers come into play? That comes from DNC ENT in the chat. What's the Aaron Rodgers story? If not him, then what?
I think there's a good shot that they could end up with Matt Stafford. Not reporting that as official, but I think there's a good shot there. I'd love to have Matt and Kelly back. But Matt Stafford is still playing at a very, very high level. He's a consummate teammate. And then they could go select maybe a Will Howard, and then they have Aiden O'Connell already, and then let him develop them both. I think that's a genuine possibility. I could see them potentially hurt. So that's also a possibility, but nothing has been determined yet. They have reached out to Matthew Stafford's people, but they're not going to do anything stupid. And let me just make it one point very clear, and this will make all your Wolverine fans happy. There will be no quarterback wearing the silver and black that doesn't have the stamp of approval of Mr. Thomas Brady, and he's going to be the guy picking the quarterback.
All right, there he is. He's an electric factory, people. Hondo Carpenter, our guy. Hondo, we're going to check back. Yeah, we're going to check back around the draft time, if that's cool with you. Appreciate you, as always, my friend.
Thanks, Hondo.
I love being on with you guys, and I just appreciate you. And Woodward is just the great voice of the real sports, and I love it. And you guys do a terrific job. Thanks for having me.
There it is. We'll talk soon. Hondo Carpenter, everybody. Sit back and bask in it, man. The guy is an electric.
He's as good as he gets.
He just came on here and dropped
Start
fire.
clipping, boys. Start
Yeah.
clipping.
Sorry
He's as good as
to
he
the
gets.
guys in the back. Sorry, you guys are going to be busy today.
Oh, it's called work, Lentz.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You hear us back there? It's called work.
Lentz has a little tummy wumbles.
Oh, does he? Okay.
He's working from home.
All right, we're Jack Harrington in the chat. Hondo is the man. Hondo's the GOAT. Shad216, Hondo fans.
He dropped a nugget about Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
That shit was
We're gonna react to it when we come back. Why are we
Yes.
gonna do this? We got 2 breaks, and
We'll
it's
do
worth it.
P-Fit and Lady Jane's, and then Caesars when we come back.
All right, Planet Fitness, everybody, live from the Planet Fitness studios. I was just there this morning, as a matter of fact, getting in those miles, man, between 15 and 20 every week. I'm going on the road today after the show. Got a flight out of here. I know there'll be a Planet Fitness close by because there's over 2,600 of them in the world. So as a matter of fact, wherever you go, there is a Planet Fitness close by. Super Chat's lighting up as well. No, but I love it though. $24.99 a month for a black card. You can get out any Planet Fitness in the world. They got tons of equipment. You're not waiting for a treadmill. You're not waiting for weights because they have it all. 30-minute circuits, clean facilities, clean locker rooms. Go take your shower. All of it, everybody. Again, planetfitness.com. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
What about Lady Jane's? D-Mac?
What about Lady Jane's? Spenny, you know what, Lady Jane's? They take the chore out of getting a haircut. The talent stylist will deliver industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule for Caesars. That's right, Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use a promo code Woodward1000. Here's how to play, everybody. Scan that QR code that's right above my head right there. Use a promo code Woodward1000 when you make your first deposit. Then you get to make your first bet, and if your first bet loses, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. It's like a do-over, everybody. Come on now, what are we talking about? Caesars. One of the OGs of the sports betting game. The app is clean. The technology's great. It's not sitting there spinning on you. It's not glitching on you. If you're a live bettor, everything is precise, and it's easy to look at. Some of these apps, man, what are they doing? Caesars has it right, everybody. Go to CaesarsSportsbook.com or scan the QR code on the screen. Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. All right. We gave everybody a lot to digest right there. I understand it. Stick Radio, Hondo Carpenter, top 5 white guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Speaking of that,
He's a great white.
top 5 black guys today in honor of Black History
History
Month for
Month.
top 5 Wednesday in honor of Black History Month, as you said. Speaking of that, a lot of you are on brand. Brennis in the super chat. I live in a city of white people. It's fabulous. So there you go,
Hey,
KG.
have fun.
Have fun, yeah.
Stay your ass over there.
Yeah, Adam Yunt. Wait a minute. So Demond Ice is a Bears fan, and he spends his entire day watching Detroit Sports Talk. LMFAO.
Yeah, he's been in our chat since the season.
Yeah.
Since the regular season.
Greg in the chat. Thank you,
accepted here.
Hondo.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Hondo.
Did you
That was
say,
awesome.
oh no?
Mike G, hooray for black guys. See, so there you go.
Hey, there we go.
We're back
Shout out
at
Mike
it.
G. He knows.
But yeah, so if you have reactions to any of that, what I guess, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
What was your guys' main takeaway from what Hondo said? You the Ben Johnson stuff, right?
Yeah, no, and when you see kind of how he acts, when you see the comments made yesterday that, like I said before the show, kind of had a passive aggressive like feel to it. It makes sense. And then you go back to where you pointed out your source and, you know, kind of was there not friction, but was there a little maybe one-upsmanship between Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell in terms of who wants to call the plays, who's really in control of the offense. It makes a lot of sense. And hearing Hondo say he's burned bridges along the way, it kind of lends to that. He's been a little smug since he's left here. And I don't know what that is, but it's interesting. I'll say that.
I agree with you.
I think that started before the end of the season. Like obviously there was the levy, the crack, but everything Kenny's saying, and like even Hondo says too, there's a pompous smugness. You know, what do we know about in sports? When you act a little bit bigger than your britches, like the karma's always going to get you. You're always going to get delivered, and it's how you return from that. But from everything that we're hearing, you know, is it this way? We were going to talk about, you know, Ben Johnson, and it's more or less, I believe it's tone, but it's also too, like, everybody knows that they can say something or not say something, and for the most part, people choose not to say it or say it in a way, their comment when they're asked a question. They avoid it because they'll let people read into it. What Ben Johnson is doing, no matter what, is allowing people to read into it and investigate more. And the more that they investigate it and talk about it, the more that it's true.
Yeah.
Like, it just seemed the way it is, and it doesn't surprise me. And this is me speculating, but it almost got like the kids, you know, turned 18, turned 19, turned 20, and they know everything.
They know it.
Yeah.
It's
got that feel to it.
And Uncle Brad and everybody else said, well, you know what? You go into that big bad world by yourself, bro, and you figure out how you go. It was one of these things. And we all agree that it was time for Ben Johnson to leave. But you look at, you look at it the way that the narrative is around Ben Johnson in Chicago and Aaron Glenn in the Jets, right? Where it's more or less that in the back of your mind, everybody's, hey, I want to see Aaron Glenn do good with the Jets. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him turn it around. And I know the Chicago's in our division, but it's Ben Johnson. It's more on the person than it really is the Bears right now. It's turning more to be on the coach than it is on the team.
And Ben Johnson is no dummy. Just real quick.
He's going to turn himself into a great heel for this town that we're going to go in there and serve him lunch.
Yeah. I mean, no, you look at what he's saying, and he's no dummy. He knows what he said. And I point back to what JB said on the morning show this morning. Shout out to him. If this was said on a Chicago local, you know, sports radio station, it probably doesn't get the traction. But you wait until the NFL Combine, where all the NFL national media is observing what you're saying, and you go out
and
there
hanging on it.
And you kind of go out there and do what you did. I think he's trying to send a message.
Woodward Sports chat thread, just kind of your reaction to the Hondo Carpenter interview. Chuck Brewer, Neil, the running back comments were interesting too. Yes, they were, Chuck, good ear. So were we ahead of the game going for Gibbs in the first round? Hondo said what, a possibility of 4 running backs?
Yeah.
Going in the first round?
Running backs are back.
They are back.
Running backs are back.
You know what, though?
But
they're not going to get paid like that.
They're back
but-
in like a Happy Meal fashion, like
Right.
a treat of the week, because they still don't get more of the respect to be getting paid. But yeah, we
want them on
sort
that
of
5-year
need
deal.
you.
Yep.
But it's also too are most of these running backs like multi-purposed, right? Like that's what you're seeing as a lot of them. Like there's a lot of talent and stuff like this, and maybe more so. I won't buy into that until they get paid. But they're dime a dozen.
But they're getting paid. You know, they're starting to get paid.
Well, so
Saquon
now
got paid.
they are,
yeah.
right? Like I look at the NHL star and the running back getting treated the same sort of way.
It's kind of the same.
Right
It's
now,
kind of
that
the
the
same
salary.
thing.
So maybe like it could be different, but they're also asked to do a lot more these days too. Like they're half receiver, half running back, half
That's
blocker, to whatever else. What do we also see? To the most part, what are the successful teams? They have a couple options.
of them, yeah.
right? We look at right here. So maybe that is why it's so more imperative to get your Knuckles and your Sonic.
Also, too, the one disagreement I had with Hondo and when he talked about the draft is, look, they cannot like the quarterbacks, but you can't help these owners and you can't help these GMs.
They have to. Jobs are on the line.
They have to. They don't have the luxury. And next year may be the best draft class since 1983. Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, etc. John Elway. It could be. But with that being said, man, you just talked about it, KG. They don't have the time.
Yeah.
And if they think there's a shred of hope with Shedeur Sanders, if they think there's a shred of hope with Cam Ward, guess what they're going to do? Not only will they take them, they'll trade up to take them because the desperation of the position necessitates it. It does, man. It absolutely does. Spenny, I have a question for you. And I didn't really, because I haven't done a deep dive on running backs. I assume you haven't yet either.
No.
Like you haven't flipped through the running backs. To
Not
hear
yet.
Hondo say that, who's there, boots on the ground in Indy, people are telling him this, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not, this. There's something to this. It's just when he brought that up, when he started talking about if you do end up pushing the quarterbacks down, and 4 running backs get taken in the first round, Hondo's right, man. Like, as you get to the end of that first round, you're going to get a mid-first round guy. As you get to the end of the second round, there will be perhaps a first-round talent out there. You getting a little tingly now about the draft again?
Yeah, I already know the way I want them to go in the draft and tune in 5 to 7. Figure it out
Shout
today.
out.
I got a mock draft coming. But I don't see the gap in talent between edge rushers and defensive linemen that are going to be there at 28 between 2 edge rushers and defensive linemen that are going to be there in the mid-second round to be that big. So I really think Brad Holmes is going to do something kind of wild in this draft. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I got a flavor that I'm holding on to that I like, and they did meet with him today.
Okay.
So
You got a guy, Spen?
I got a guy. I got a guy that I really like.
When you let it out on heavyweights?
Yeah, I
or-
let it out on the heavyweights, 5 to 7. I mean, I
Tap in.
just put the tweet out there, but a little teaser. I'll get more into it on heavy. Jihad Campbell, linebacker out of Alabama. I'd keep your eye on him. Lions met with him today.
Linebacker, no way.
Yeah, I know exactly.
No, you can't take that.
Exactly, but the edge rushers and guys that are going to be available in the second round are still going to be first round talents. So I think they're going to go BPA, and that's what Brad does. So.
Yeah. Well, and it would check my box. Would he be the first linebacker,
Yeah.
in that scenario? First linebacker
For sure.
taken. I'm in.
Yeah.
That's how I roll, man. Like, if I can get the best of something,
He's
why
the
would I not
best,
be
he's
in?
best linebacker on the board. He'll be like super Derek Barnes. It's one of the few spots on this team this year or next year where you can get a day one starter in the draft is that Sam linebacker position.
Yeah.
And what
For
he
this
can
team.
do for this team. Yeah. And what he can do when it comes to rushing the passer, stopping the run, and defending the pass. He's a freak athlete. His sideline to sideline stuff is out of this world. So
Yeah.
I like it.
And I know it's just formal meetings, but if you look at the tweet that Woodward Sports put up about that and you see the players that they met with, I think there's a theme here. And I think we can see a lot of what we saw last year with the cornerback room. You just look at the list of players that they have formal meetings with so far.
DNC ENT in the chat has an Ian Rappaport tweet, I guess. Says the Packers have trade conversations centered around Jair Alexander. They're open to moving him for the right price.
No thanks.
Well, this is a movement, though, that I want to talk about. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go to the break now so we can do it. We're going to do that till the 12:10. Then it's 12:10, everybody. Top 5 black guys. Top 5 Wednesday. Why is it a top 5 list, Benny?
Top 5 list because it's half as boring as the top 10 list.
There you go. Absolutely. So let's do this. Let's take the break now. I want to get into this NFL discussion because what Brad Holmes said today, I think sheds light on it. What you're seeing about this open trade discussions sheds light on it.
It's a lot.
The Saints shed light on it. Like we're gonna do
It's
it.
a theme here.
There is an overriding theme here. Everyone, tell them about jars.
Absolutely. All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting a game or simply just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Thanks to everybody who came out last Saturday to Jars Utica. What a display by the snowboarders and the skiers and stuff. We did the live stream. You can go back where you check it out to see what we did. Thanks to all the Jars guys, Raymond, and everybody for being out there, because Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. They got 30 locations right now with 2 more coming in. Utica was the 30th location. So if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, and their newly opened store in Milan, check out the jars today. I will be making my way around the state with the Darren McCarty brand. I will keep you posted. See you at the jars, cannabis.com somewhere soon. Get your favorite product there today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday here on Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trusted for 4 Stanley Cups with these bad boys. Yeah, Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
All right, pulling up hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter. We have Chase in the Chase Lounge. We have all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. You want to skip the line? Use the super chat. They'll send your chat right up to the top. We will stop what we're doing and get to that. Still reading though. You know, I'm not just going to read those. You guys are all valued members of the community. But jump into there and get your thoughts out there. DNC ENT talked about that, about the breaking news, I guess, from Ian Rappaport. Jair Alexander could be available to trade. We've heard it about Matt Stafford. Before we get further into it, Chase, you had a great comp talking about the running back in the running back draft. And is the running back back? Was it ever really gone, though?
Bring home the running back.
No, I don't think. I think I compared it to the precious metal of silver. Like, quarterbacks are always going to be the gold, and silver is never going to be as valuable as gold, but it's always going to hold a value, and how much you place on that is always going to fluctuate up or down. And I think the Lions invested early, and we're seeing a rise in the price of silver and the value of silver in the running back position, as we've seen the trend towards things like time of possession becoming more important instead of the speed of the game.
Results, touches, guys that get the ball 20 times in a game, be it through carry or reception. Those guys are valuable, man.
Absolutely.
You got the ball in your hand 20 times. So, yeah, hell yeah, they're valuable. That's a great take. I'm glad you could fit us in between your appearances on CNBC and Market Watch.
I just got a package.
Hey, that crypto's flying right now.
I think it was Nitty Gritty. I saw Nitty Gritty say the Amazon package is 5 stops away. I didn't know he was sending me something.
Is it anthrax in there?
Well, unbox it, man.
Hopefully it's not a bomb.
What do you get?
Right.
You got a package from Nitty Gritty in the chat.
I saw him say it earlier.
Ted Kaczynski, noted Michigan alumni.
Ooh, t-shirt. Ooh, America t-shirts.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Turn up.
You got 90% off mustache wrap, or 68% off mustache wrap t-shirt.
God damn, I just shaved mine too.
And we got the Great American Mustache Ride t-shirt. Shout out. I think these are from Nitty Gritty. I'm not sure.
That's America, Jack.
Exactly. Let me see if there's a... Oh, hell yeah.
Benny, give the people an eagle. Come on.
Let me see if there's a card or anything. No card or anything in there, but... 2 great mustache teeth. Yeah, it's from Nitty Gritty. Shout out. That's
big
awesome.
Shout out.
Thank you, man. That's so fun.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, getting back to the point I wanted to talk about. DNCNT with the Jair Alexander thing. The Matt Stafford thing. Spot Track tweeted out today what it would take to trade for Harold Landry and what you acquire. The Myles Garrett thing. The Kirk Cousins thing. All of it. There are good players out there available for trade. And we had talked with Hondo about it and said, teams are not in the business of giving up good players. We heard Brad Holmes talk about it today, and I don't know. And Smitty, I can't remember what cut we had of Brad Holmes. Was he talking about like financials? Or
it was him just talking about adding edge.
Adding an edge. Okay.
Yeah.
Later on in that interview, he talks about the fact of when asked about the Myles Garrett thing. Those guys are expensive, right? Like they're tough to get. And I just kind of started bumping around Spot Track. And because when I was on the treadmill today at Planet Fitness, shout out Planet Fitness Studios, it kind of popped in my head, and then I went and looked. It seems to me like if you're a team that's in a window, the Chiefs, fair to say they're in a window?
Yeah.
They've been in a window.
A forever window.
The Eagles, they're in a window.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
The Lions have entered their window. The 49ers are in a window.
Yeah.
It's closing, but they're in a window. The moral of the story is this, guys. When I looked across the board, you basically get 3 dudes. That's the makeup of what the deal is. One of them's generally a quarterback. You get 3 dudes. Some get 4-ish.
Yeah.
The Eagles have 5-ish, but they've punted deep down, deep down the road. The Saints are an example that the cap is real. They have their dudes. And the Saints are in a spot where just cutting guys aren't going to get them under the cap because all the dead contract that they have on the back end becomes immediately due.
Yep.
The Saints are done being a competitive football team. They're done. They're down there talking about right now, what are we going to do with Carr at quarterback? Is he going to be our quarterback? Like, those are the discussions they're having. And if they do get rid of Carr, they're even further. They're even further over the cap.
Rattler, baby.
So it drives home the point, D-Mac, where, yes, you're not in the business of getting rid of good football players until you are. And, D-Mac, the Lions get 3 to 4. You get 3 to 4 dudes, man. That's it. Go look around the league. Look at any of their salary cap structure. You get 3 to 4 dudes. The Lions have Sewell. They have St. Brown. They have Goff. Brad Holmes talked about they're looking at the framework of Aiden Hutchinson. There's your 4. There's your 4. So people say that he hoards draft picks, D-Mac. It's the lifeblood of this team going forward. The NFL draft is the lifeblood of this team going forward, and we're new to this, right? So we don't understand it. But with that said, they are more important than ever. They are, D-Mac, because they have to have them. How did the Rams jump back into this conversation? Jared Verse in a defense that cost him about $19 million, all the young guys. That's how they jump back into the conversation. So again, this is why I think, D-Mac, that when you see these guys traded, this is why you're stunned by what they go for. Because they value the picks more than we do, Darren. Like, that's it.
No,
they do.
And that's the whole thing. I think Councilman Colosius said it the best. What do we know from Brad Holmes? Is that he's probably going to trade up, right?
Yeah.
If the best available and the guy that they want. You know what your scenario, and because they've been doing this for the past 3-4 years, has availed them to do? What other good teams who are in their window do is get specific players. That's where we're at now. Who makes this team better? And that's at the Combine right now as you watch highlights and stuff like this to see Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, Chris Spielman, and all the guys watching. It's who is the integral part in the – they don't need the best available – talent like they have in the past. They need specifics, and what's he proven? Specifically, he's moved up and got guys that you want. You brought up the conversation earlier. Chase just said it. The running backs like silver, the quarterbacks like gold, stuff like this. You went out and got your silver, which is turning into gold, and Jahmyr Gibbs, right? So in Holmes we trust. I think it's a move up, and it's just like wait and see names that we like. So this is specifics now. Because he's put himself in this position, right? And then specifics means, well, maybe it's a trade. Maybe it's moving up in the draft. Maybe it's moving back. Maybe whatever like this. But the player that he drafts, you ain't just going to draft a guy and go, oh, okay, well, he plays this position. No, he plays this position. He does this. This is what we need. Let's move it forward.
DNC in the chat, no, the Saints are an example of dog-ish drafting. No, and DNC, that's right. Like, we talk about the 3 to 4 guys. Their 3 to 4 guys are Derek Carr at 34, Cameron Jordan at 36, Taysom Hill at 35.
Oh, my God.
Those are their top 3 cap hits. And DNC, on top of that, you're right. because they locked up who they thought was their core, and they chased it with nothing. And they still got to deal with Alvin Kamara, and he's pushing 32 now. I want to say Michael Thomas is still a $9 million dead cap hit this year. You see, it's a dangerous game.
Did he even play for them last year?
No.
Yeah.
Did he? He might have played. Did he play last year, or was it the year before? Like, you see what I'm driving at here?
Tough. Yeah.
Those picks are the lifeblood. That's why you're shocked when you see these trades made in the NFL, because these GMs, especially when you're a good team, you have to have those draft picks, man. And Spenny, the closer we get, and the more I listen to you talk about it, and we talk to Hondo about it, and the more I read about this, and listening to Brad Holmes talk, most importantly, man, this draft. Am I crazy to think that this draft could be the biggest one?
No.
Am I crazy to think that? Am I being too media on it?
No, I think you're right, because you know what you are right now. His first couple drafts, you didn't really know what you were as a
still
team.
building.
You were still
You're
building.
taking best players, right?
Yeah,
And
you're just
like,
grabbing talent.
Yeah.
Now you need to supplement the team you have with guys that are going to make an impact and help you win a Super Bowl. So, no, I would subscribe to that thought process as well.
Like the anxiety's building, man. It's real, folks, and you got to do, because the Eagles, I think we're closest to the Eagles on the highway.
Yes.
And I think that the Eagles were 1 to 2 drafts ahead of us.
Yep.
Maybe
and
one.
health-wise. Maybe probably
and they
one,
stayed healthy.
And they stayed healthy.
Well, that's the
21 of
biggest.
22.
Is that not the biggest key out of anything that we're talking about coming down to the end of this season? What did the Eagles have? Right? They were healthy. They were all hands on deck. That's why, like, when you say, Neil, availability is the number one ability in this league, it is ringing true, right, to the fact. But is that not the blueprint? Is that not do you not follow Howie Rosen? Is that not the friggin' Brad Holmes, what you want? Because you're right there. You're close. If your team have full man roster, their team have full man roster, is that not the battle for the NFC right now?
Yeah,
and I have
absolutely.
respect to San Francisco and respect to nobody else, but but yeah, so that's where it is. I just think the more you say it, Neil, as it comes out, that's why, like, I want that first game of the year when everybody's healthy, ready to go, Philadelphia, Detroit, and usually the NFL won't disappoint.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Wheezy D313. I love how people have Stafford fixing any and every team and instantly being a contender. Hilarious. And Wheezy D, I was listening to the Spot Track podcast, as a matter of fact. I do this weird thing where I credit people when they come up with something that I use. I don't just stand here and then, pass it off as I thought of it. Maybe that's a character flaw I have in this game. I don't know. But I was listening to their podcast, and they were talking about Stafford. And he kind of said the same thing you did, where like the Stafford to the Giants or Stafford to the Steelers thing is kind of laughable. He's 1-8 in cold weather games with 11 picks.
Oh shit,
he's awful.
I thought Goff was a bad
he's
weather quarterback.
Awful. No one ever talks about that. He's awful in cold weather. So they're like, if you're the Steelers or you're the Giants, obviously you know that. Why are you interested in that? Fair point. Fair point. I know
that
that
those are two desperate teams for a quarterback. So
there you go. It's wild to me, man. But that we're getting to this point, dude, where this draft is going to be incredible. All right, the people are getting restless.
Yeah, they are. I'm seeing some good. It's respectable right now. I even see me in some top 5 lists in there. So shout out to the chat. Absolutely love y'all, man. But
John effing Lord,
I think we're gonna be okay.
I can't wait for Chase's list. It's going to be interesting.
No, Chase already gave us a preview.
You've created an identity for yourself, man. I got to give you that.
Chase GBT.
Yep.
I'm just me.
Yeah,
just me.
Of course, that's the most Chase response ever, dude.
You're right.
I'm one of one, man. My dad's Elliot III. They want to name me the number 4th. Junior said, nah, he's one of a kind. I got my own name.
He's one of them ones.
Yeah.
He's one of them ones. D-Mac, you ready, man, for top 5 black guys?
I am so ready. I was a week early on this.
He was.
Just some background real quick. When we made this official, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
We made this official 2 weeks ago. D-Mac sent his top 5 black guys list immediately that day.
Yeah.
We've had his list for 2 weeks. That's never happened before.
Never.
All right, where are we going, Spenny?
Tell us about Les Stanford, D-Mac.
Okay. Darren McCarty for Les Stanford.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right now, it's Les Stanford
D-Mac
sign and
beats
drive
in
sale.
it,
Get
man.
a 2024 Envision for only $239 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for only $249 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $789 per month. Zero security deposit, zero do-it signing, zero first payment, zero acquisition fee. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory at the sign and drive sale. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. Boom, boom.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, everybody. The time is here. Real quick in the chat, by the way. Lunchbox in the chat. Neil, Michael Thomas' last game for the Saints was November of 2023. He's a $9 million cap hit this year in 2025. So let that sink in, everyone. And just food for thought, the Saints signed him to a 5-year, $97 million deal in 2019. There wasn't a person in the world that said no to that.
Yep.
So just remember, everyone, like, we have that luxury, right, where we don't have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints are dealing with it.
I mean, Forsythe is a motherfucker too, though.
Well, sign him. The cap's not real.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, $9 million of dead cap this year. What could you do with $9 million?
You don't want to see what I can do now.
Not give it to Michael Thomas to not play.
Right.
You
Yeah.
could start right there. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm so
ready.
I'm so proud of the chat, though. They doing good. I'm looking at some of these
Well,
lists.
we haven't started.
That's true, but some of the lists have been fair to this point. So.
But we haven't started it.
We haven't started yet. Okay. As you know, it is Black History Month, everybody.
Neil, how you feeling? Heart rate going? You good?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for consideration with the black community.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good.
You got to
Depending
put
on
on.
the list goes a long way.
The list does go along. I think I have a solid list.
There are eyes on this segment, so
I figured that there would be.
Yeah.
And I'm here. You guys know me, right? The bigger the stage,
Yeah.
the bigger I perform.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
100%.
they believe in you.
Bigger stage, bigger I perform. All right, everybody, here we go. Top 5 black guys.
Top five.
Top five. In honor of Black History Month. Why is it a top 5 list, Spenny?
It's half as boring as a top 10 list.
There you go, everyone. We'll keep the same batting order. Leading off, the nation's #1 contact hitter, Mr. Spencer Raxter. Your top 5 black guys.
All right, my top 5 black guys, and I did put the caveat on there. I said friends, family, and Detroit athletes excluded.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that would be too easy.
I had that
for
same
me
tux for prom.
to just put all my friends. And that's me and my boy Chico there at prom.
Shout out Chico.
So shout
He
out.
brought his black friend with him. See, there you go.
Ryan Lentz picked this picture. It's not me.
Weird.
But at number 5, I got Piccolo. Piccolo is widely accepted as a black guy
Yeah,
in the
that
black
is factual.
community. Piccolo is a GOAT. He's from Dragon Ball Z. He's out there. If you know Piccolo, you know he is an extremely, extremely good role model as a black man.
He
for
raised somebody else's son.
Raised somebody else's son, and then raised that same man's granddaughter. Piccolo is extremely important. At number 4, I got Kendrick Lamar. He's the GOAT. He's provided me.
That's your guy.
That is my
Yeah.
guy. I've seen him live 4 times. I'm going to see him again a 5th time in the summer. He puts on one of the best shows I've ever seen in my entire life, and I think he is the greatest musical artist of all time. At number 3, Samuel L. Jackson. He is number 2 on my actors all time. I think he's one of the most versatile actors that have ever taken the big screen. He can do any role you give him. He has the deepest bag in acting. He's only behind Brad Pitt for me when it comes to favorite actors of all time. And number 2, I got Benjamin O. Davis Sr. Benjamin O. Davis Sr. is the first ever black general in the U.S. Army.
Oh.
This man kicked ass and took fucking names.
America.
So shout out to Benjamin O. Davis Sr., the first ever black general in the Army. And then at number 1, I got Shaq, man. Shaq is one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Extremely entertaining. He was one of my favorite basketball players ever to watch. I got Shaq at number 1. Again,
the most marketable black person of all time.
Businessman extraordinaire, super marketable. Everybody loves him. And again, like I said, this is excluding friends, family, and Detroit athletes.
So, since we're one in, let's see how the people respond.
Great list, Spenny, by the way.
Thank you.
Art Vandelay. Chico is black.
Chico is very dark skinned.
Yes. That he makes the list, or could make the list.
Could make the list.
I don't. Yeah.
Shaq is a great pick. Miki has 5 of the black fists up there. KG. So there you go.
Hey, shout out.
All right. 1 in. So far, so good.
So far,
Yep.
I'll tell you, y'all best behavior today.
People are still giving love to OJ, the football player.
Maz loved him. He just had a bad day.
I mean, if you want to count the murder too, he
got
only
away
black
with
guy
it.
to get away with murder.
That's right.
He murdered a white woman. He got away with it.
You know what? That is pretty historic. Like,
just
I have a
saying.
guy up there for history reasons. Maybe I made a mistake.
Maybe you
Maybe
have.
I should have put OJ in there.
Oh, Maz would have had him on his top
Maz, he's
5.
definitely in Maz's list.
Probably number 1.
People want to know where Oswald Bates from In Living Color is.
I wanted to put Jesse Owens on my list. Jesse Owens was
Another great
really
black man.
close to being on my list because that's just fuck going to Berlin, winning and saying "fuck you, Hitler." Like
But I
that
think
dude-
he's Native American, isn't he?
no. Jesse
D-Mac,
Owens is black.
the people are saying you could have made a draft out of this. Oh, very easily.
Oh,
so
sure.
easy.
100,000,000%.
So easy.
But we decided we'd cut to the chase.
Absolutely.
Real quick, Mike putting them in the chat. Robert Downey Jr. That counts. No, because he was a dude
Robert
playing
playing
a
a
dude disguised as another dude.
Exactly.
So, no, technically it don't
Yeah,
count. but
that's too long.
I like the effort, though. I like the effort.
Here's the one I low-key been waiting to hear.
Chase, your top 5 black guys list.
All
Can't
right.
wait.
That's me and the Amley family.
All right, there it is.
No blacks inside.
No blacks inside.
blacks.
Oh, well, you can see my mom. She's very Hispanic in the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 5, Jamie Foxx. Just very talented individual. Arguably one of the most talented humans on the planet. He
Very-
can act,
very
he can
true.
sing, he's a comedian, he
Yeah.
can dance. I mean, he can do it
He
all.
is kind of underrated when you
Yeah.
think about
He's
it.
he's a 5-tool player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
And we almost
absolutely.
lost him over the last year,
Yeah,
man.
100%.
Yeah, with the heart condition. So, yeah.
Number 4, John Henry. He's a folklore legend. I mean,
Great pick.
Yeah.
he beat a machine.
He beat the machine.
He
No,
beat the machine,
John,
man.
John Henry is goated.
He
for
gave
sure.
his life to beat the machine.
Yeah.
But yes.
Number 3, Alexander Dumas, author, writer of The Three Musketeers, The Count of Monte Cristo.
All right, a little culture in there. Okay.
Count of Monte
Yeah.
Cristo, I have it in my backpack. It's my
On
all-time
brand.
favorite book. And Three Musketeers, very good as well. Number 2, Barry Bonds. I mean, all-time home run leader. I doubt that record ever gets surpassed.
Put him in the hall.
Yeah, put him in the hall.
It's
Like,
a great
it's a
pick.
shame.
Love Barry.
Yeah, I love playing MLB The Show and trying to break that single season home runs record. And then number 1, ASAP Rocky. I wish I could trade.
He's a great one, but
I wish I could trade lives with the man.
Number 1?
It's strictly just jealousy.
I mean-
he's an awesome rapper.
yeah.
He is objectively a
Very attractive
very
guy.
very good looking individual.
Yep.
He is a
The handsome
fashion
man.
icon.
He is.
He got Rihanna pregnant, cheated
Shout
on her,
out.
and then got her pregnant again.
Yeah.
The
No,
man-
it's pretty
And
cool.
just got off a gun charge.
Yep.
Yeah, he did just beat
And he
that
just
charge.
beat a
Good one.
case.
Good one. man.
Anytime someone's like, if you had to fight a celebrity to take over their life, like, who would you pick? It's always ASAP Rocky.
Hey,
I don't know if you'd win that fight.
Yeah, it's just
not
it's
at
pure
all.
He was
jealousy.
the most successful of all the ASAP.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Talk to Braylon about Riri if you're jealous for him about that.
I mean, I'm just. It's more so like his life. I mean, they're dime a dozen. There's so with the women and such. But
Yeah.
he's lived a very full life. He's pretty young too. He's only like 32
Yeah,
or
young
33.
guy.
So
Yeah.
it's like, man, only a couple years ahead of me, and he's accomplished
Hopefully
so
his
much
next
more.
album is better than Testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Testing wasn't the greatest.
No.
Damon Dice, what are we doing here? We're doing top 5 Wednesdays, as a matter of fact. In honor of Black History Month, it is top 5 black guys. Rando Smalls via the Super Chat. Number 5, George Washington Carver. More on him later. Number 4, Red Fox. Number 3, MLK. Number 2, James Earl Jones, Field of Dreams, and Vader. And number 1, James Brown, I Kiss Myself.
Hey,
that's a very good
James
list.
Brown, yeah,
say it loud.
It was hard. It was hard to pare this down to 5.
For sure.
It absolutely was hard.
It definitely was.
Dog, this is almost bringing a tear to my eyes. So such beautiful list so far.
That was a great list.
Batting third.
John Henry's a great pick.
Yeah, it is. A deep cut. And A$AP Rocky,
Yeah.
the explanation, it's a deep cut. It is.
For sure.
Danny G, no Black Santa is criminal. We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
We're not even halfway through. We're batting third. KG's top 5 black guy list.
Yes, sir. Here I am to hit the homer. And real quick, this picture, me and my wife, we went to, I believe it was North Carolina. They had an art museum, and they had some really good black art in that museum. That is a tapestry of Chadwick Boseman.
That's very cool.
Of course, we all know him from Black Panther. He filmed Black Panther 2 with stage 4 cancer. We lost him over the last couple of years. Another great black man. So shout out to Chadwick. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 5, Kendrick Lamar, because he has brought dark skins back. You know what I mean? The light skins ruled the 2000s and the 2010s, but we are taking our power back, goddammit, and Kendrick is leading the way. He had a public hanging of Drake for the Super Bowl. And more than just that, the fact that he got up there on that stage and was able to just embody hip-hop and blackness and just do what he did, it was amazing, man. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
And then Drake chases that halftime performance with that album.
Yes.
I tapped in and I should have talked about this on the show.
I haven't even listened to it.
Haven't listened to a minute. Yeah.
I'm too scared.
No, KG, don't.
I don't want to lose
There's
more
no point.
respect for the man.
Yeah,
I really
then,
don't.
Then don't. I'm telling you right now, as your friend, do not. It was a waste of time. Awful. Awful.
Yeah, Drake ain't been
Just
the same.
all you got to do is how much radio play is it getting?
Yeah.
None.
None.
And
Kendrick took over. He jumped back over him literally the next day in most
%.
streams.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're all good. At number 4, Samuel L. Jackson. And just for the way he's always been unapologetically black, whether it's through his movie roles. A lot of people don't know that he was also a big part of the civil rights movement.
Yep.
Literally would lock people in a room until they changed their views on black people. No, Samuel L. Jackson is absolutely the man. He's never deviated from what he is. He's always just been himself, and he is absolutely great, man. It'll be a sad day when he leaves us. Shout out to Samuel L. Jackson, one of my favorite actors ever. At number 3, Dave Chappelle, and much for the same reasons as Samuel L. Jackson. Just the way he's always been him. The way he story tells from a black perspective is unmatched. And over the last few years, he's really been one of those black people that you can just really be proud of as a community, man. I love me some Dave Chappelle. Jay Thomas, I saw your reference earlier as Anthrax Bad. We all know Chappelle's show is goated. Literally helped shape my life and many other people's lives.
Elite.
Yep.
It was elite. He's an elite. He's elite at the craft of performing in front of a crowd. Like I've studied it. Like I watch him a lot and study it and use some of it.
He's gotten better over the years
Yeah,
because his
100%.
early stand-up was one thing, but if you see just what he's involved into now, it's amazing, man.
I was at the show downtown when he bombed.
Yeah.
Like the one when.
Oh, you was at that one?
I was there. Yeah.
I went to the next 2 after that, but
yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
The way that he tells a story, circles back to a different part, makes it relevant, then goes back, and then
I
later
kicked her in the pussy.
Can draw back, can get 3 jokes out of a joke.
Yeah.
And you feel like you can't believe it. It's so funny. Like
it's
he's an elite storyteller.
If you haven't seen him live, please go do so before he retires. It is a treat. You will lock up your phone, won't be able to film it, but it's absolutely great. At number 2, of course, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. We all know why. This man, he transcended so many just barriers, just being a black athlete. He was the first viral superstar, if you want to put it that way. Just absolutely amazing what Michael Jordan was able to do, and just the way he persevered, just the attitude that he brought in his career. Just I look up to shit like that. And number 1, Muhammad Ali, much for the same reasons as number 2, but even more so because he was just, the way he lived his life, so inspiring. He's been one of my life idols for a long time, and he stood on business. When the U.S. was on that bullshit, they took his heavyweight title, he stood on fucking business, man. And that's some of the things that you loved about Muhammad Ali. Rest in peace. to the greatest of all time.
Guys that give stuff up.
Yeah.
Guys that give stuff up, man,
Yeah.
is
sacrificed.
pretty incredible.
He sacrificed for the cause.
No doubt about it. We would never do that in today's society.
Yeah.
Can I still download iTunes?
Yeah.
I'll do it as long as they're not going to take away iTunes, are they?
Right. Like,
can we stop at Starbucks first?
No,
like that,
he was different.
No,
He was
100%, 100%. Lunchbox has a question though. No junkyard dog on your list, KG.
No, but he's in honorable mentions though. There is a ton of honorable
The
mentions.
junkyard dog.
Yeah, junkyard
He
dog.
was one of my favorites,
Yeah,
man.
he was solid back in the day.
Freddie Felt 313 in the super chat. Number 5, K. Dot. Number 4, Eddie Murphy. Number 3, Muhammad Ali. Number 2, MLK. Number 1, Fred Hampton.
You're all about grabbing them cakes. That's why.
Yeah,
right. Damn cake. I
Darren
don't
McCarty,
care
who
what it
put his
takes.
list in immediately upon the idea being conceived. What is your top 5 black
Here
guys?
we go. My
All right,
honorable
back,
mention,
man.
as you can see on the bottom, is the Woodward Sports Network, Hurt Business, JB, KG,
Hey.
T. Foss, Kool-Aid, all the boys. They get number 5.
Yeah.
They get honorable mention.
Hey, real quick,
they do. Number
Lil
5.
Jon in the picture
One of
too.
the funniest human beings I've ever come across. If rest in peace. But Patrice O'Neal, if you're a comedy guy, Chase, you're a comedy guy. Patrice O'Neal, are you familiar with him?
I love Patrice. I felt bad omitting him from my list, but I just did
No,
so
no,
much.
but it's not like he's one of the
Oh,
like to
him
me. He just has me rolling. If I'm having a bad day or whatever, I gotta go look into.
Him and Norm Macdonald, they're unmatched.
Yeah, they're like their humor and the
Yeah.
way that they tell a story. So check out Patrice O'Neal.
Patrice is-
Terrence Howard, probably
Yes.
the smartest human being out there.
Yeah.
But the fact, like even just the simple question of math,
He on that Neil deGrasse Tyson type wave. He
he's
be
on
doing that.
the legitimate
Yeah.
side of whatever. I don't know. Neil deGrasse Tyson loses me sometimes.
I feel you, yeah.
He's pompous. Terrence
a little
Howard
bit.
is like when somebody's smarter than you, they know it, whatever, but tries to empathize. I love the empathy, and I could listen to him talk because, like, he's just on another
And
dimension.
if you need a black movie
Denzel,
villain, he's there.
Probably greatest, African American actor of my time. Training Day, all the different things. So anything he's in, and plus, honestly, like with all the things going around, and you see I love the way that he snubbed Jay-Z. Denzel doesn't need to talk about stuff, but stuff going around, you can tell that he's one of the ones that's sort of, elevated from. You don't really hear anything bad about him. Been with his wife forever.
Oh,
so,
he's great.
I mean, just solid guy. Cat Williams. I mean, that's probably bucket list to sit down and talk to, just because he'd blow your mind with his knowledge and just the way that he's figured out.
I'm a big fan of his.
Figured out how life
Not
worked.
even the comedy.
Here's what I believe, right? In any situation, find out what game's being played, right? Find out the rules and play the game better.
Yeah.
That's Cat Williams.
That's
That's exactly what it is, and the fact of everything. And the truth will come out and set you free. And even like from the interview with Shannon over a year ago, just to
I listen
see
to it all the
way
time
that things
still.
happened to
it's
me.
great.
When Cat Williams says something, I definitely listen. He had a great interview with Theo Vaughn too. And number 1, the GOAT,
God.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
He narrates anything. I'm listening. So, and then Shawshank, one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah.
Facts.
The Terrence
that's my
Howard
list.
pool was real good. If he's one of the best black movie villains of all time.
Yeah.
Like literally, you could put him in any villain role in a movie and he's there. Like, shout out.
All right, Danny G in the chat. What a list, D-Mac. I agree, man. Great list, no doubt about that. No, Scott. No, Scott. Brittany Griner didn't make anybody's list. Okay,
Yes.
so stop with that.
Right, stop
All right, please stop with that stuff.
Don't talk about our sisters like that.
All right, next one. Last, maybe least. I don't know. Mike G, no love for rerun. My top 5 black guys list. What, KG?
No, I was laughing at the rerun comment.
Yeah, me and Ice Cube there.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out.
There you go. Number 5, George Washington Carver. The original black scientist,
Yes.
man. The original, the OG of the game. He shifted the entire Southern economy based on his intelligence.
He did.
That's a move.
And allegedly, he doesn't get credit for some of the things he may have had a hand in inventing.
Correct.
Besides, we
Weird.
all know him for
What's
peanut
that?
butter, but he did more than just peanut butter, folks.
Yeah, I mean, just
Well, it makes sort of on brand, Kenny. But you don't think that he would have got credit back then? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
There's a line of white people
stealing ideas.
Well, like the cotton, the cotton industry was obviously huge back then, and so he's long game enough to think about, all right, what's past cotton down here in the South?
Yeah,
and that's why he came up with peanuts, sweet potatoes, that kind of stuff, because the nitrogen that they produce restores the soil. Mm-hmm. So. Big brain stuff, man. Yeah, big brain stuff.
Sounds like him
man.
and Chase.
Yeah, right.
100%. Number 4, MLK, for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Another big brain.
Oh, absolutely.
Long game thinker.
One of the
I
greatest
respect
public
that.
speakers of all time.
No doubt. No question about it. Still iconic, man.
And listen, Trump trying to release the classifieds, we don't care that he was cheating on his wife. We all knew he was cheating on Coretta. And guess what? She stood on 10. You goddamn right. She stood on 10 for the cause. You let that man cheat.
For sure.
Number 3, Terry Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, elite. Absolutely elite.
Love Terry.
He's my guy, man. 100%. He's my guy.
Hold on, I got to do this for the one time.
It creams in your mouth a little bit.
There you go. Our guy, Terry Foster. Number 2, Black Santa. I wanted to honor Black Santa on my list because we take from Black Santa. We all do. We all do. We never give to Black Santa.
Never thank him.
Black Santa belongs amongst the greats.
He does.
He does, and he's number 2 on my list. Number 1, Denzel Washington, the greatest actor of our time.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
And he's played arguably the same role in every movie, but he just does it so damn good.
Man on Fire is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Man on Fire is amazing.
Great movie.
Training Day. You just go down the list with Denzel.
You absolutely can. And that is top 5 black guys. I'm inspired, KG.
Well done,
it went well.
I'm so proud of this chat today. Shout out to y'all, man. Actually putting some relevant information in the chat and not just, going all like y'all normally do.
Yes. And Mike G, he's just being Mike G. Black Santa's great. Shout out Northland Mall.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Rest in peace, Northland.
Rest in peace.
I think Freddie nailed it in that picture with Ice Cube. Neil is NWA. Neil with attitude.
There you go. Absolutely. Now, Cube was a great interview, man. We interviewed. He was there for 30 minutes, man. We were just chopping it up, talking about coming to Detroit and everything. He was there promoting the Big 3, so he took his time, man. He was a cool dude, no doubt.
Cube.
No doubt about it. Where are we going here? Lady Jane's, right?
Lady Jane's.
Absolutely. Lady Jane's takes a chore to getting a haircut. Let the talented stylist deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule for Planet Fitness. Over 50 Planet Fitness Metro Detroit locations. There's a lot in Grand Rapids. There's some down in Toledo. You get the idea. Over 2,600 of them in the world. But that's not what makes it great. Guys, what makes it great, number 1, is $24.99 a month, but it's an elite gym with elite facilities. A great selection of cardio equipment, weight equipment, 30-minute circuits. And again, you can go take a shower in the locker room. You can get on with your day. It becomes a part of your everyday life, just like it is for me, right down the road here on West Maple Road. So again, Spencer Raxter's on it. You want to change your life, man. It starts with you. Like, you got to do it. I'm telling you guys, Planet Fitness is the outlet to make that happen. I'll never be a member at another gym. Go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot on the way home. It's that simple. Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. They weigh the same.
What about Feldman?
FeldmanAuto.com. Again, more people I do business with. Bought my car from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. But there's 19 Feldman Automotive locations. And it's not just Chevy. Could be Ford, could be Kia. You want a used car? FeldmanAuto.com. We don't talk about this enough. They're a great resource for used cars, too. You can search the entire inventory of all the Feldman dealerships. The car you want is out there at the price you want. I'm telling you it is. Go to FeldmanAuto.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Reaction to the top 5 list. Top 5 black guys in honor of Black History Month. iHearter, Joe Louis needs some more love here, though. No, I agree. I was, D-Mac, I was stunned. It is hard. We could have done a top 10 list, could have done a top 15 list on this one.
Easily.
Like, there was a lot to drill through, man. Yeah. There was a lot to drill through. D-Mac, you went pretty deep, though, D-Mac. Props to you, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it.
No, everybody had a great list.
Taylor says, number 1, DJ Diesel, Shaq, obviously. Number 2, Brad Holmes. Number 3, Snoop Dogg. Number 4, Terry Crews. Number 5, any of the 04 Piston starters.
We might, Terry Crews might be under review, but everybody else pretty solid.
I have to ask you, KG, was the delegation pleased with my list? I have a lot on the line here.
Yeah, no, they were extremely satisfied with how this went and how you kept control of it the whole time. They're going to expedite the process.
Are they?
Yeah.
Did the picture with Ice Cube cut a lot of ice or not?
Yeah, nah, because, I mean, Ice Cube, he's pretty friendly. A lot of white people got pictures with Cube.
Man.
Yeah. But, no, it's about the internal work, Neil.
No, I know. Super Bowl Wilson, no Joe Dumars in his three rings. No, we didn't. He didn't make the top 5.
Like you said, this is endless. You can literally go for days on this.
Now everybody dropping top 5 ideas. Some of those no.
If we're keeping with the theme from what we said a couple weeks ago,
I just said nope.
Right. Next week should be top 5 fat athletes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And then
top 5 fat athletes.
Yeah, and then it's an open list as according to like the order that we've set.
Yeah, correct. Thank you for keeping us on par with that. Top 5 fat athletes.
Can't wait.
We rarely do sports-related top 5s, but this one will make an exception.
I think this is the first one.
It may be.
Oh,
top 5 fat athletes.
Making history.
We are. Miki Phelps in the chat. Black Santa, Believe, with a couple of black fists. There you go. I do got to get my Believe, my Black Santa holiday sweater. Believe it says Believe on. Oh, I've been meaning to order it. I got to get that. I got to get that one. I got to get that one rolling. D-Mac, Red Wings, last night. Here we are. They got a huge win. They're keeping it pushing. They're still in the playoff spot. D-Mac, again, when I watched that game, I was wrapping up laundry because I got to go out of town today, and I hadn't even sat down to start folding it, and they were down 2-0. And the nature, especially of that second goal, like the breakaway where he fans on the shot and it still goes in. And I said, D-Mac, it's not the night tonight. And then what do they do? And Cam Talbot, Talbot's he looks shaky today. Pitches a shutout the rest of the way. D-Mac, that was this Red Wings team win. It was.
Yeah, I think that more so last night was what this team's about and believing in themselves. And the one thing is you're always looking for that. You preach about playing a 60-minute consistent game. And I'd say right now they're playing about 55, right? They have a few lulls here and there where you see breakdowns. We've seen in a few past games we're letting teams back in the game with 2-goal leads and stuff. These are things that needs to be tightened down. But the one thing, Neil, that I will reiterate, I did not turn the game off. I was confident about it.
I did too. I stayed in.
You did?
I stayed in. Yep.
Oh, you stayed in.
I stayed in.
But because it was one of those things is I keep going and I'll bring it back. End of the first. Look at the stats. 9 shots on net, 23 shot attempts. It took you 3 games back in November to get that many attempts. So it was the fact that they're just going to persevere, and keep playing well. You know, Tarasenko scores a huge goal from Gustafsson, a couple guys that we've needed more out of and guys stepping up. We mentioned the winning goal. It was a sweetest contingency, and yet again, you know, the Canes and the DeBrinkets and guys looking effective. Soderblom played one of his better games. Like these guys love it. Like these guys are doing it, and no matter what, they're not getting frustrated whether they get down. I'd like to see them protect the lead a little bit better, but the effort's there. So the effort and how Todd McClellan's got him play, it's legit. And again, it doesn't get any easier. So you know what? Like that makes up for letting Minnesota back in. And when you look out of the 3 games after the break, you got 5 points. You got to be happy with that. But now, task at hand with the back-to-back against Columbus, you got to keep doing it. Why? Because the team you're chasing, Tampa Bay, they're playing well. Vasilevsky looks like he's turning into Vasilevsky that we know. So they're shooting it up. What I like is where the ceiling is. And we're keep rising because guys keep going out there and playing. So, yes, again, we'll be tuning it in Thursday night because they deserve it. How exciting is it? You got Boston in town with the Pistons tonight. You got Columbus in town tomorrow with the Red Wings. I mean, we're right into this with 2 teams that we can cheer because the absolute effort that they play with either on the court or on the ice is bar none.
I got 2 things here. Number one, D-Mac, you talked about Tampa. The Red Wings have gone 8-1-1 in their last 10. They've gained 2 points on Tampa because they've gone 7-2-1. So
and you can't
they're on a
worry
6-game
about.
win
So if
streak.
you're looking up and I guess it's like keeping pace and they're doing that. But if you're worried about and you keep pace with the team ahead of you, then you're burying teams behind you, right? Because that forces the Buffaloes and the
that's where I was
Ottawas
going to
and
go.
everything else to be consistent to that. So right now that's all it is. They're looking at biting the heels of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
They are. And by the way, the Lightning are 3 points behind the Florida Panthers and have 2 games in hand. Like, just to give you an idea of the ladder.
We got a game in hand on Tampa, don't we?
What's that?
I think we have a game in hand on Tampa, don't we?
Tampa's got a game in hand on us.
Oh, they do? Okay.
But the moral of the story is Tampa's 4 points back in the Maple Leafs for first in the division. The Red Wings right now are 8 points back. 8 points back at Toronto for the division lead, which I'm not saying they're going to get there per se, but I am saying, like, they are almost on a Tigers-esque run right now. Like, for real. They are. And what I like about it, they're 4 points clear of Ottawa. Ottawa has a game in hand. But if they lose that game in hand, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're 4 points clear of Ottawa.
That's what you nailed it right now. We are in our Red Wings. And even look at the Pistons 7-0. Right? We're going through that vortex of August, September with the Tigers right now, and it's awesome.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Taylor, D-Mac, do coaches have input of who gets called up? I feel Soderblom call-up was long overdue. Did the Todd father have a hand in that?
100%. 100% as far as like what he's looking for, and he'll say, this is what I want. I need speed. I need energy, size and stuff like this. And it was almost like the perfect storm when you make the coaching change. You can bring in other players, right? Like sort of you're establishing your type of guy, which is the size, the effort, and stuff. Now give it up to Soderblom because of its development and the work that he's put in Grand Rapids, but he was ready. I've been telling you that when I went down and saw him. And so it's the belief, and it's, whereas Todd McClellan, Derek Lalonde's strategy was everything's fine here. We'll figure it out. The house is burning. Todd McClellan comes in and goes, put this fire out and go out there and play fucking hockey. That's it.
That's it. Woodward Sports chat thread, DNC ENT. The top 5 list was supposed to be strictly excluding sports, but F it, right? No, DNC ENT, like it just feels like it works.
Yeah.
Top 5 fat athletes.
Yeah.
It feels like it works.
It's fair.
And it's
our show.
And it's our show. I mean, at the end of the day, DNC,
we appreciate,
it is our show.
Technically, I'm not gonna grill you for that, but there's an addendum that was made. It's just sort of like Doge, right?
Yeah, it just feels right.
Absolutely.
John Kruk getting some love in the chat. Escalade, rest in peace. Escalade getting some love.
Shout out Escalade.
Right? Where else we have? Jared Lorenzen getting some love. My favorite college athlete, says Joni. Danny G, top 5 stupid things Stick has said. Stick showing some love for Tony Saragusa. I'm halfway through the Bully. I never watched the Bullies of Baltimore 30 for 30. I'm halfway through it. It's a good one. Yeah, it's a really good one so far. But yeah.
You humiliated me on national television.
Right. Rest
and
in
I
peace,
want
Goose.
my restitution.
Steve-O, baby. Neil, I don't think players are not even focused on what other teams are doing when it comes to the Red Wings, as long as the Red Wings play their game and win. No, I'm not saying that they are, Steve-O, baby. I'm just pointing out the mathematics of it all. It's just that was one of those wins, and maybe I'm weird. I don't know the answer to this, but D-Mac, that win felt like more, given the game flow. You know, I'm big on game flow. Given the game flow, that win felt one of the bigger ones I've seen lately.
No, 100%.
Is that weird?
Because of what it means. So if you take a loss right there, then you're 1-1 in your last, a regulation loss in those 2 points. These are the points, right? So this game, if you're balancing it out, last night's game makes up for a San Jose game you lost at home. Right? Remember last year we were bitching about that it came down, and I said, you know what it came down to? The game you lost in Arizona and the game you lost at home against Arizona. Right. There's 4 points right there. So this sort of, you can't change what happened in the past, but this sort of evens things out. And they're taking care of business. Like you said, 8-1-1 in their last 10. Really, they should be 9-1.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Bam Bam Bigelow getting a lot of love.
Hey,
CC Sabathia getting all the love. What do you got, Spenny?
Terry Foster just posted on his Facebook, your boy T-Foss had to escape the cold and enjoy warm weather in Punta Cana.
Yeah, he did say
he's down in DR, huh?
Shout out
That's why he's a top 5 black guy.
It is. Yeah. Terry's a good man. I love Terry.
I do too, man. That guy.
Yeah.
That guy's elite.
I mean, he's one of the biggest reasons why I am where I am. Like, reading his articles, listening to him every day is one of my biggest inspirations to do this job.
The only man to kind of keep Valeni in check.
Facts.
Jack Harrington, top 5 MILFs. We've done that already.
We have done that. That was very early on.
Yeah.
Charlie Waffles, top 5 favorite cereals. We've done that one.
We've done that as well.
We keep coming up with new ones, though. Somehow, some way, we keep coming up with new ones. Top 5 pizza. Nah. I think we did pizza toppings.
We did pizza toppings.
Yeah, I know we did pizza toppings there for sure. So, yeah. But no, D-Mac, here's another thing that's going to be really weird that I'm going to say. And this is only me. This is only something that I would come up with. I am kind of bothered about this outdoor game. I am. Because I want it in, like, a real arena with real ice. I do. For real. Like, it's been really warm. Like, they laid the ice on Wednesday, I think.
So what are you worried about, injury?
Or laid it down on Monday, I think it was.
It has been warm.
But
we've got a pretty good track record in winter classics.
I want real ice in a real, because is it safe to say that's a big game? That's a big ass game.
Huge game. Huge game.
I just don't like that we're kind of gimmicking this one up at this. Like, why don't you just do it in February or January? What happened to just doing it on New Year's Day like you did before?
Right. They still did. It was the Blackhawks and the Blues at Wrigley on New Year's Eve. Because this is a Winter Classic, and then this is the Stadium Series. So it's like 2 different outdoor games.
I just want it on real ice.
We lost against Toronto in the first one.
I just want it on real ice. That's it.
Oh, is that? We've only been in 1? I thought we've been in 1.
We've been in like 3, I thought.
They were in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
We had one here.
Mm-hmm. They've been in at least 3, I thought.
D-Mac, am I making too much of that? Is that just me being extra about outdoor ice and indoor ice?
No, I mean, it's sort of a concern, and the first thing that comes to my mind is if you're worried about injury.
Oh, yeah, we're 2-1.
But here's the one thing is that with
I'm not worried about injury. I'm worried about outcome.
But it's not like it's solid. It's as good. They got this down. They can do it out west and when it's like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Yeah, but
really
that's Ducks
worried.
playing the Coyotes. Nobody cares. This is big time.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think this is respect though, because once you start getting back into the outdoor classic, then you're on the NHL's, radar of up and coming. So both teams, I don't mind it. It doesn't. At this point in the year where it's the end of February and March, where you still got a month and a half left in the season, you got 20-some games or whatever like that. No, this is where you want to be put on display on that national game to say, hey, to the not regular fan that you're going to pick up that, like, this is what's going on. And it's more like the celebration. So this is like an all-star game for regular guys. You know what I'm saying? So the festivities, I mean, Chase will be down there and stuff like this. It doesn't bother me because you have to play one, and you're playing one with 6 weeks left in the season. So,
but to be fair, I guess I'm glad that it's their home game and not ours.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to have this at Comerica or
no?
Okay.
No, because I want the ice. I want our ice. I want it in our building with like real ice.
It was my brothers went to the one at the big house.
I would just the only reason I'd be concerned is that like if it was like shitty. But dude, that ice will be better than Anaheim's ice anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
I
what
trust
I'm saying?
you,
Like,
obviously.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Now I feel less bad about it.
It shouldn't be a fact. If we see pucks bounce and empty netters and stuff like that, then you can come in here and you can say, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
Isn't
I
that
reserve
fair?
the right.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I'm going to say. If a puck takes a bad bounce, I don't want to hear it.
What you're bringing up isn't because, yes, it's like both teams have to play on it. It's just like the same thing as like, let's go play in Lake Superior. I mean,
right, but both teams have to play on it, but only one team has to play on it twice, depending on what end you're on. You know what I'm saying? So, just again, if there's like a rut in the ice and a puck takes a bounce, I don't want to hear it from any of you. I'm shutting it down immediately. Say, no, you wanted this.
They always talk about before the game. And I'll ask. I'll see, hey, how's the ice? I'll ask a couple of the guys
And honestly,
and I'll text you and I'll put you at ease.
A little bit of ugly has been favoring the Red Wings recently. Like with the amount of pucks they're getting to the net, like little puck luck, little ugly could bounce in our favor.
We are owed one.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports
Especially
Chat.
with the Wild that first game, those 2 goals that Talbot gave up to end the game, we're owed a little bit of puck luck here.
That's fair. Eric Allen, late career Tony Gwynn, top 5 biggest athletes. No, Tony Gwynn will be on my list. Will.
Yeah.
Bartolo Colon's number 1 for me.
Yo, I love Bartolo. He's on my list for sure.
We got to get that clip of him hitting a home run.
Yeah. Oh, it's electric.
It's one of the most electric sports moments. Let's talk about merch. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Everybody get geared up for the playoff runs. LCA, Pistons, Red Wings. Opening days right around the corner. Spencer Raxter will be in rare form.
Can't
get
wait.
geared up.
Don't even have to worry about doing a show either.
Oh, God.
It's just going to be full balls to the wall.
And you were talking about getting older.
Spenny, I had a couple of bartenders I ran into whatever for opening day, and I told them that, you weren't working opening day, so they got a little excited.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Spencer Raxter Day? Yeah, opening day.
And I'm going to stay at my boy's house downtown that night.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Shop.woodwardsports.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
MarkWhiteSells.com. Mark White will save you up to $5,000 your closing costs. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, make sure you tap in. He is the best in the business. Call him at 248-290-8242 or visit him at MarkWhiteSells.com.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the building as well. I'll be out tomorrow and Friday, final regular season road trip of the year with Oakland. We get to go to Green Bay and Milwaukee, so that's cool.
Is it, like, I know it's a little off topic, but they're close to 696 for 2 years.
2 years.
And that's just my route, literally, to get here.
Yeah.
Well, it's just eastbound.
Not anymore.
It's just eastbound?
Yeah.
It's just eastbound.
So your route home?
I get, my route home.
Yeah, but they've been working on that thing for a while.
Well, the good news is, Spenny, you're like the only guy that takes that route home eastbound. So, like, to get to where you got to go, you'll have your little way that no one else has thought of.
Yeah, I'll probably just take 13 mile or something.
Yeah, nobody else will do that.
13 mile the mound.
Not one person will do that.
Yeah, no.
You're the only one.
Oh, yeah, that's 13 miles going to be clear. Well, at least I drive home at 7, so it's not like I'm driving home during rush hour.
That is true. You're lucky there. D-Mac, you're in with Stick tomorrow, right?
Yes, we are, and we have the OG Godfather Trick coming in studio promoting the new movie that was shot here, based here. My boy Mikey Eckstein, the executive producer and stuff. So we're going to bring a Detroit flavor, and if anybody knows about the people and the culture and everything going on, that's our boy Trick.
Yep.
So excited to have him in the
Trick.
studio tomorrow.
The Last 24, I think it's called.
Yep.
Shout out Trick.
Woodward Sports chat thread, last couple minutes of the show. Danny G. Butterbean, he's getting a lot of love. Said better be on everyone's list.
Oh, Butterbean? Yeah,
he was good for a while.
Hefty Lefty's going to be on my list.
I can't get over the fact. And Spenny, like you talked about, you have everything lined up for opening day.
Yeah.
And you earlier this week, you were talking about, like, I'm getting older now. Like, you know that there's a clock.
Oh, for sure.
You don't have many of these left in the tank, man.
No.
I'm talking like full on.
Yeah.
Everything's lined up. The calendar's clear.
Eyes open, eyes closed, balls to the wall all day.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Spinny was kind of looked like he was in his prime still last year.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope.
That was fun.
They literally danced on Fox 2 for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I know.
That shit was great.
My legs were so sore the next day.
It was goated.
But he internalizes it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
man.
like he knows.
Oh yeah.
That's
it's my
not
favorite day of the year.
It's not going to be in the tool bag forever. Let's just say it like that.
Definitely not.
You praise the self-awareness because normally the athlete is the last to know when it's
You
time
are the
to
last one to know when the carousel stops.
Yeah.
So again, man, just live it up, brother.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
30s ain't that bad, man.
Yeah. I've been preparing my body for it too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Put in the extra work.
Where are you on
eating
the
salads.
morning after scale? Is it a lot rougher than it used to be?
It's still not that bad.
But it ain't good.
But you have to prep. That's
Yeah,
the
gotta
thing. When
prep.
you get older, you got to start
Hydration,
prepping.
man.
Yeah.
You got to start prepping for it. Pedialyte.
Putting
you know,
down
gotta
waters.
eating food,
Gotta
yeah.
eat.
Gotta eat, gotta drink water. Like you just do, man. It's not a complicated situation. Charlie Waffles, can Neil bet on Oakland basketball? Obviously not, Charlie
Right.
Waffles.
What?
Charlie Waffles.
You go ahead, Charles.
But
Yeah.
if he could, no. I'm
Yeah,
talking-
no. He said Green Bay basketball is so bad. Doug Gottlieb,
Yeah.
talk show
Have you
host.
won more than 2 games yet?
I think, they finally won a Horizon League game.
Yeah. Please whoop their ass. I got love for downtown Milwaukee, but everything else in Wisconsin, just please.
You got no love for it,
Yeah,
huh?
please, bro.
It's a tough trip, man. It is. All right. Well, that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Schmidt, it hits you hard at 30. Spenny, it's like a real line.
Yeah. Good thing I'm still in my mid-late 20s, so don't got to worry about that.
Take advantage, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting real close.
It's closer than even you want to admit.
No, you do start getting tired around 28. It's just like, what the fuck am I even doing anymore?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
the 28, that hit me.
Yeah.
Tommy K telling you, shots on me if I see you opening day. Well, we won't be hard to find.
No,
Shut up.
come on down, man. It's a
Shut
time.
up.
It is a time.
Tyler M, Neil, my boy Nick Daniels, I hoop with him. Nicky D played at Oakland. That's my guy. Next time you see him, tell him I said what's up, man. Nicky D's my guy. Just talked to him a couple weeks ago. All right, that'll do it for Darren McCarty, KG, Chase, Spencer Raxter. I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in. Well, see you later.